Nomad Clan's a duo. We're based in the north of England and we've been painting large-scale murals now for 10 years. But we always try and find things that resonate within areas that we paint these murals because we feel that we're leaving something behind. And for it to connect with the people of where we place them is key to our kind of ethos.
Nomad Clan, their exquisite ability to research and then to storytell is second to none.
There's little elements of like forgotten bits of history all through this mural. So we started off by researching into Sand House. It's this place that a guy just carved out of sandstone, a whole bunch of sculptural ornaments and corridors, and he lived there and he just carved it. I don't know why even. I want to say it's a love story. So that was like the starting point for everything looking like it was carved out of stone in the first instance, to kind of honour this guy's legacy. And we wanted it to kind of feel like an overgrown garden because we had so many trees to contend with. The big challenge was how to pull those trees into the mural and not work against them. The notion of like nature and green taking space back, hence why it looks like an overgrown garden, and it's something ethereal for people to get lost in. My granddad was a miner in Bentley, which is in Doncaster. Part of the story is illustrated in the mural, and like I was really lucky to have got some of his memoirs where he'd actually written about his experiences in the pits. So essentially working in the mines was horrendous, and he sort of describes that quite vividly. But the one thing that kept him going was the relationship that he had with his pit pony, and he used to go down there and give it an apple, ride him around, you know, to get them some exercise, because these horses never left. They were just used and exploited. But through this shared experience, they got this really strong bond. So it's kind of a little bit in homage to that, but there's a wider narrative in it, which is about like in dark times, there's always silver linings if you look hard enough.
What drives Nomad Clan to do this is that we get the opportunity to put our work in front of so many people, and it's not often artists get the chance to paint on such big scales and have their work instantly in front of hundreds of eyes. And I think with that, there's always like a conscious thought in our heads that this has to be something that resonates heavily with where we leave it. And it's not just a piece of art for art's sake, it has to have that connection. You feel tied into that history then because you're the person that's told the tale, or you've listened to it, you've processed it, and then you've produced it. And probably the most important thing for us is that we manage to do that in a way that tells real stories, real people, or real moments in time.
We're sort of bringing a diversity to the mural because so often we see the same sorts of people represented in muralism, and it seemed fitting to kind of honour and portray a person of colour in a powerful position like a doctor working for the NHS. You know, it's got something to it to aspire towards for young people, and I really think that the message in that has resonated nicely with the local community, which I think is important. It's all about bringing people together and imagining a future that we're all behind, that's about equality and diversity at the core of its ethos. The idea is kind of a little bit like, not a manifestation, but it's about creating more visibility. It's about redefining who is immortalised in stone statues and why.
The piece is beyond energetic. The horse is cascading like a wave, falling from the bricks above you. A sense of awe is created, and you feel in the company of something bigger than yourself. And that's the wonderful thing about, large-scale murals, is that they make you feel small in the same way that a mountain can, but they remind you that they're there to stay. And that's the wonderful thing again about urban art. It's an open-air museum. It does not have a creed, a colour, or a religion. It speaks to everybody of every age. And whatever you make of it is your own determination. But it's not for the political elites or the academic elite. It's not for the highly educated or the people with finance or the people with no money. It's something for everybody. And through this piece and the way in which it's created, you can really see how the storytelling unfolds.
This mural is one of the most ambitious murals Nomad Clan's ever painted. Not only is it the biggest, but it's probably one of the most complicated technically. There's a lot going on in it. But we wanted to give it our all because often northern towns like Doncaster are a bit forgotten. And with us both being from northern towns, we understand the merits of having public art to aspire towards. Our hopes really is that this art becomes a medium that's accessible to the young people of Doncaster, whereby they can see there's a future and it's not necessarily following the paths that you're led to believe. Like, we're not from formal arts backgrounds, you know, we're from local northern towns. Hopefully it'll open the door to more creativity, more opportunities for local artists around here, and at the same time bring a lot of enjoyment and well-being to local residents.
I feel like Doncaster's a bit of like an underdog. Like, it's definitely, there's things that are bubbling under the surface. There's little like pockets of creative people with like amazing skills, like in all different areas, but they just need that little exposure to really blow up. And so I think literally like in the next few years, it's gonna take off creatively, definitely.
It's beautiful when you see art across the street and just see colour and you just see everything, and it's just like, feels like there's life.
Like, when you see someone doing it, you think, I can do it as well. When I hear music, I get inspired to make some. So I feel like if artists see a massive piece of work like that, that's just going to give people inspiration.
It adds an element of creative spark in the Doncaster community. I hope it inspires. I hope people can look at it and think, oh wow, that is amazing. I want to do that one day, or I want to get involved in something like that. And then where it's positioned as well, it's amazing because it's like literally outside of the Doncaster train station, which just adds to that whole aspect of, right, I'm coming to Doncaster, I look outside and there's an amazing mural out there. Like, it adds to the beauty that is Doncaster.
And the cool thing about this mural is that even, you know, some people who have been in pretty desperate situations have taken the time to stop and enjoy the mural and say something about it. And it's, you know, the fact that people are recognising it and they feel like it's for them, that's what it's for me. It's not for us, it's for the place that we're in. So really the goal is to improve an area, but for the people who live here.